must follow the law. The law says...
Glorious. Is it a lawsuit? Probably. Why not?
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up. It's the Law with attorney Larry Forman. Folks, I hope you guys are ready for this. I hope you guys are sitting down and buckled up, because this was one of the most interesting things I have seen in a long time. Remember, Turtleboy is being prosecuted for bogus charges. Witness intimidation, wiretapping, this and that, and he did this, and we didn't like that. And the only reason he's being prosecuted in Norfolk County, folks, is simple. Because the people who he was calling out were retaliating against him, and they're connected. And so they have pull power. I mean, for God's sake, they've orchestrated an entire prosecution of an innocent woman, not once, but twice, with Adam Lally and Hank Brennan prosecuting, Adam Lally being in the office and Hank Brennan being a special prosecutor assigned to the case. They prosecuted her for murder that she did not commit. I mean, can you think of anything more heinous? So going after Turtleboy with witness intimidation charges, like, to them, that's like a spit in the bucket. It's disgusting. Turtleboy, also known as Aiden Carney, showed up for a hearing yesterday, and we are going to cover it because, folks, you are not ready for what is about to happen. I am still in shock over what happened. So let's watch together.
All right. I'd call upon the Norfolk DA's office to see if they can have somebody appointed on that case.
Yes.
And do it forthwith. I'll make an order to that effect.
All right. I understand, Your Honor. I will just say that since, as you are probably aware, the reason for my withdrawal is that the alleged victim in this case is attempting to implead me in a civil suit between her and Mr. Kearney in the Worcester Superior Court.
That's Lindsay. That's Lindsay Gaetani. She's trying to implicate Cosgrove in a civil lawsuit, which she hasn't even really filed. She just filed a letter. And by the way, let's go over that letter real quick. Have you or someone you love been injured as a result of someone else's negligence? Or worse, you lost a loved one because of it? I am attorney Larry Forman, and myself and my team of trial lawyers are ready to fight for you and get you the maximum compensation allowable under the law. We know the system. We know how to win anywhere in the United States, 24 hours a day. Call 1-844-774-HURT. That's 1-844-774-HURT. And let's get you every dollar you deserve. Dial that number and buckle up. Let's win this ride. This is a letter dated September 5th, 2025, to Michael Morrissey, Lindsay Gaetani versus Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove. Presentment of claim under MGL, Massachusetts General Law. Dear District Attorney Morrissey, she writes, pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Section 258, subsection 4, I hereby present a claim on behalf of myself, Lindsay Gaetani, a resident of Norfolk County, Massachusetts. By the way, this is not how you file a claim. This is just like an informal letter of meh. Like, that's all she did. And Cosgrove is like, I need to remove myself, Your Honor. Secretly, he's like, I don't want anything more to do with this case. Please get me out. Thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay is my savior. At least Lindsay helped one man in her life. Against the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office and its employee, Special Prosecutor Robert Cosgrove, for damages arising from tortious conduct related to the mishandling and unauthorized disclosure of Ms. Gaetani's confidential SA report. The nature of the claim. On or about August 8th, 2024, and continuing thereafter, Special Prosecutor Cosgrove, the guy we just saw, acting under color of law, failed to protect the confidentiality of Ms. Gaetani's SA report provided in connection with an October 2023 assault by Aiden, allegedly. The report was improperly disclosed to Carney, a defendant in related criminal cases, Norfolk Circuit Court docket such and such, and published in unredacted form by Carney and Jason Boyles, inciting widespread harassment. You mean the public reacting rightfully to the BS that you have tried to like orchestrate and whatnot. Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. Lindsay wrote this letter saying, Cosgrove, you are guilty of sending this letter to Aiden, the report that I generated. You have no right to publicly distribute it because the things that I said in there, is what she's not saying, are probably false and probably misleading, and I don't want anybody else to see this. Let's keep it a hush-hush, shall we? Well, because you didn't keep it hush-hush, I'm coming after you now, says Lindsay. Cosgrove's actions and omissions, she goes on, including his role in the investigation and coordination with Massachusetts State Police Lieutenant Tolley and Medfield Police Detective Dylan Haldeman, constitute intentional infliction of Why does everybody love to throw intentional infliction of emotional distress around? Do you understand what it is and how it works? Nobody understands what it is and how it works. They just love to throw it around like, oh, I suffered a momentary lapse in emotional blah, blah, blah. I deserve damages. Please. There's a very specific and narrow rule where that works. This is not it. Or recklessly failing to safeguard the report causing severe distress. Negligent, same thing. Anxiety, insomnia. It's basically everything she was accusing Aiden of or whatever, causing, by disseminating all that information that we went over. If you've not seen that video, go check it out. It's on my channel. Invasion of privacy. Ooh, invasion of privacy. You went to make that report, and now you're mad that it's been leaked? Whatever. But, okay. Abuse of process. Misusing prosecutorial processes to facilitate the report's improper disclosure. Again, doesn't even apply, but okay. Violation of her civil rights and breach of statutory duty, negligence per se. I think it's either Grant GPT or Chat GPT or a Grand Chat GPT hybrid that has helped her write this, because it doesn't make any sense. That no lawyer, maybe a law student could write something like this. Sorry, Chandler. Maybe a law student could write something like this, but not a lawyer. This is not written by a lawyer. Date and circumstances. The claims arose on or about August 8th, when the unredacted report was disclosed and published, which was done not by the prosecutor's office. They just sent it. So, okay. With ongoing harm due to continued harassment, the events occurred in Norfolk County, Massachusetts, during investigations related to Carney's criminal defenses. My damages. Ms. Gaetani has suffered severe emotional distress requiring therapy, reputational damage, because we all learn how crazy she is, and she doesn't like that you don't get to recover for that lady, including fear that law enforcement will not believe her future reports. You mean because you lied and got caught and nobody else believes you because you're the boy who cried wolf, or in this case, I guess, the girl who cried wolf? What? Make it make sense, please. Medical expenses, pain and suffering, and legal expenses. The amount of damages is to be determined at trial, but is estimated to exceed $50,000. This claim is part of a counterclaim filed in Worcester. I hope I'm finally pronouncing that correctly. Thank you all in the comments below for letting me know. I think I finally got it, although please tell me if I didn't. Is it Worcester? Worcester. Worcester Superior Court, civil action number such and such against Carney and others, including Cosgrove, Medfield Police Detective Dylan Haldeman, and Massachusetts State Police Lieutenant Tolley, arising from the same transaction. Please investigate this claim and contact me to discuss resolution within the 6-month period prescribed by the statute. So Cosgrove is now asking the court to withdraw as special prosecutor on Aiden's case because he's now a defendant. Lindsay drug him in. Let's keep watching.
The situation does not seem to me personally, and I'm not speaking for the office, conducive to enticing a special prosecutor to assume my position. So we'll have to see what develops.
Okay. I'll make an order, Margaret, just as to 240043, the order of the court that the district attorney appoint a special prosecutor within 30 days.
Judge, if I may, we'd just like to be heard on that very point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Attorney Better is going to address that, Judge, just in terms of the potential conflict extending all the way to the DA.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Bedlow.
Judge, the problem with this situation is that the alleged victim, who is dragging Mr. Cosgrove into the case, which has led to his removal, as well as Detective Lieutenant Tully, as part of these series of legal maneuvers, sent a demand letter to Michael Morrissey in his capacity as district attorney, indicating, presenting claims against the DA's office arising out of the same incidents which have left Mr. Cosgrove to leave, And it's a classic demand letter. If something's not done within 6 months, she intends to take legal action.
And this is to the Norfolk DA.
This is to Michael Morrissey in his capacity as district attorney, and we believe that the Norfolk DA's office now has an irreconcilable conflict.
I was thinking about that because in her letter, she's like, resolve this within 6 months, right? You have 6 months by law. And now Cosgrove is like, well, how about we assign a special prosecutor and get a special prosecutor involved from the Norfolk County's attorney's office. But the whole office is now in trouble because of Lindsay dragging them in. Lindsay was trying to screw over Aiden, and now Lindsay is helping Aiden. It does not get better than this, folks.
Because it would lead to questions about how are they in a position as a future potential litigant to start appointing people. So
why don't you do this? Why don't you write up something and put something in writing to show your opposition? Obviously, I'm not going to. I think it makes sense for the district attorney's office to review whatever it is that you file and then make a decision on that. Okay?
The last concern with that is at the moment, because Your Honor disqualified Mr. Mello recently in a decision. Mr. Cosgrove has been relieved, and this Mr. Novak has been relieved. This case, the 24 indictment, at this point in time is essentially stateless. There is literally, and I want to overuse the word literally, there is literally no prosecutor on that case for an indictment that is approaching a year and a half, almost 2 years old. There are still outstanding discovery issues, and obviously Mr. Cosgrove is no longer in position to deal with those.
Yeah.
But we just want to get this remedied as quickly as possible.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So I think I'm pretty comfortable with my ruling that within 30 days, someone has to appear from the Commonwealth.
Okay.
Whether that's the Attorney General's office or another prosecutor's office or somebody. But somebody has to come in.
Thank you.
And here's what's interesting about that, folks. If somebody else has to take over, because the Norfolk County DA's office has been personally invested and had a vested interest in prosecuting Aiden for his misdeeds, or whatever, which again is all complete horse crap. It's just these, the McCabe's and the Alberts are connected enough to where they had pull within the Norfolk County DA's office. Lindsay has officially taken the McCabe's and the Alberts, or collectively the McAlberts, power away, because now their people can't prosecute the man that the McCabe's and the Alberts want them to prosecute. So now a new entity is going to come in and they're going to go, what is this? Why do we care? This is not interesting. This is a bad case. Can we just get him something good, like a dismissal or dismissal with an apology that we're sorry, we didn't mean to, yada yada, just to make sure we don't get sued? You know what I mean? Anybody else who's going to be looking at this are going to go, what is going on here? Because they don't have, the only reason Aiden is being prosecuted, in my humble opinion, is because the Norfolk County DA's office, to them, it's personal. It's personal. It's not business. They're not doing it because they legitimately think that a crime has been committed. I think they're doing it because they're doing it as a favor to the Alberts and the McCabe's and Higgins and all of them who Aiden has called out on his channel, which is sick, by the way. That is sick when you're being silenced because, well, we don't like what you were saying. It reminds me of a recent incident. Anyway.
All right. Now we're going to the other two cases, which are 23-00313 and 25-0088. I think we're on today for discovery motions on that. I know that you have filed a motion to dismiss. I'm sure Mr. Cosgrove hasn't had a chance to respond to that because it was filed within the last week.
We've had some discussion about that, Your Honor. And if the court is agreeable, we have some suggested dates. I believe that we have agreed on a filing date of a non-court date, non-appearance date, but a filing date of October 27th for the Commonwealth to file a response to the motion. And then I believe that both defense counsel and I would be available, if it suits the court, on either November 12th or November 14th to hear argument on the motion.
Margaret, what is the court schedule like for those days? With Walsh?
What's with the whisper?
It's going to have to go through the regular course. Give me a date later in the month.
I think like December.
Yeah, because the Walsh trial is going to start. In,
Brian Walsh. We're covering that on this channel.
I think
And
October 20th.
we still have some outstanding hearings that I have not yet concluded on the Brian Walsh case, so be on the lookout for that. That's coming next.
And that will take care of this session for a while.
Does October 20th work?
No, we're talking about Mr. Cosgrove having the hearing later in the month of November. The filing date's fine.
Right, so,
Later in November, Your Honor?
Yeah.
They didn't think they were going to be available till December.
yes, but I mean, the
Look at
following
Aiden's
week
face.
is
Aiden
Thanksgiving.
is like, I'm going to have to wait 3 months, another 3 months just for you guys to get anything done? Come on. I mean, it's embarrassing at this point. It's just, you're dragging this poor man through the justice system for no reason. Why? Stop it. Don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. Stop it.
Yeah, okay, then go into the
Why?
first week of December. then.
Any day but the 4th.
Well, that suits me because I can't come on the 4th. So
Is the 5th okay?
Friday the 5th?
Yeah, does that make sense? All right.
Is this
Okay,
a
so Friday, December 5th.
non-evidentiary motion to dismiss?
Correct.
Yes, I think it's non-evidentiary at that point. There's a prayer in the motion for an evidentiary hearing, but I assume the judge would make a decision as to whether or not to grant that based on the argument on the
Yep.
5th.
I'll be at 2 p.m.
Okay, what else do we have? Do we have any?
There are two other matters, Your Honor, that I'd like to raise with the court. One is a motion for a protective order for certain investigative materials. I have just,
Is this the Brady list?
yes, it relates to the Brady list.
Yeah.
I have just
What?
served the actual motion. The attachment was previously provided to the defense, but I believe Mr. Bradel wants to, is okay with taking it up today and wants to be heard briefly on it.
Yeah, that's
And I'll rely on my written submission.
Okay, so what we have before us is a motion for protective order relevant to certain internal investigatory materials, and that has been presented today by Mr. Cosgrove. Mr. Bradel, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. As the court will certainly remember, we've maintained our objection about public materials,
Right.
about public officials, that, the risk of embarrassment, et cetera, is not a grounds to, hide something from the public. And, a lot of this stuff, the trend has been in the last few years to make police misconduct issues publicly accessible.
Yes.
So,
Are you kidding me?
Mr. Carney shouldn't have less rights than
They're trying to hide the Brady list in Aiden's. Am I hearing this correctly, or am I losing my mind?
everybody else out there. There's no First Amendment
Yeah.
exception for Aiden Carney that he can't have things that the public can have.
Yeah.
So this is one of those issues where, we maintain our objection that there's no reason to impound these items. And the stated reason that, Mr. Carney might talk about these issues is not a grounds,
No.
and it fits under the rubric of public officials' misconduct should be out in the public sunshine, and that's that.
Yes.
So it's not a grounds to say, well, Mr. Carney's going to talk about it.
Yeah.
And so it's a
And he
simple
should.
analysis that the public interest should prevail here.
What the
And Mr.
hell?
Carney should be included in that. And get
Is this the
benefit
Massachusetts exception to your First Amendment rights to speak the truth about what you have a right to speak about? What the hell?
of that.
Okay.
So there's no grounds. Thank you.
Gotcha. Okay, what else we got? Anything, Mr. Cosgrove?
I just have one more thing, Your Honor. Judge Rayburn, quite a while back, I want to call the court's attention to this, even though I'm not going to be in the position of litigating it. Judge Rayburn, quite a while back, gave Ms. Gattani leave to file pro se motions with the court. About 3 days or thereabouts after I became aware of my need to withdraw, there was a release of a link to Ms. Gaetani's cell phone extraction on the internet, which raised a number of issues.
That's a lot.
Having litigated what should happen with this cell phone extraction rather extensively over the course of this case, raised a number of issues that I would otherwise have proceeded with a motion before the court, specifically as to whether the release by someone, and it was not directly released by Mr. Kearney,
But what are you saying?
violated Judge Krupp's order. Ms. Gaetani has filed a pro se motion which sets forth a factual basis for that and asks for certain remedies. I'm not sure I'm on the same page with her as to what the appropriate remedies would be or whether it also violates Your Honor's order. But I do think it raises very substantial questions as to whether there was a violation of Judge Krupp's order.
Okay, hold on a second. Lindsay Gaetani's entire cell phone extraction was leaked to the internet by somebody, and you just can, click the link and you can see everything that Lindsay has ever written in that extraction that was performed on her cell phone? First of all, the government is in charge of maintaining those records. Now, I don't know if a journalist or some other entity like a newspaper, Boston, Fox News, whatever, they can all file a Freedom of Information Act request. Usually those are denied. It's an ongoing pending investigation unless they have a mole. If the Norfolk County DA's office and their lackeys have a mole in there, that sounds like a you problem, bud. So you know who violated the order? You did. Because you are in exclusive possession of this information. So he's like, I'm bringing this to your attention, and I don't know if I can litigate it, but there's been a violation potentially of a couple of judges' orders, by leaking this information, and you're the guilty party. Of course, what he wants to say, I see what he wants to say. He wants to say Aiden and or his team got a hold of this information, but because they know that they can't leak it themselves, they gave it to somebody else, and then they leaked it. That's what he's probably going to try and say. Although it might be a mole in their own office disseminating this information. I don't know.
And I would urge the court to take a look at it and consider whether it's worth a hearing date and how the court should proceed. And that's all I'll say about it.
Okay. Have you seen it, Mr. Bradle?
Judge, have I seen?
What was filed by Ms. Gaetani?
I have.
All
I
right.
have. First point, Judge, if I may, is that I don't think Commonwealth Counsel is in any position to argue anything on the
And I
Gaetani
think he
case
is.
right now.
I think he's would agree with that. So what I'm going to suggest is that should probably be put over to a date where there's a new prosecutor here. I
Sure.
agree with you on that. I think Mr. Cosgrove has correctly moved to withdraw in that case based upon the circumstances. And I think that a new prosecutor comes in, we'll take a look at it, and then make a determination.
Sure.
Okay.
And I don't want to take a lot of Your Honor's time on this, but just so Your Honor is aware of our position, is that Ms. Gaetani keeps filing these motions with the court that are creating a serious risk of denying Mr. Kearney of a fair trial, prejudicing him, prejudicing me, prejudicing Mr. Betterow to the court, to the public. And these things keep getting filed by a third-party litigant. There's no privilege in Massachusetts on the part of a third-party litigant to be asking for things like she's asking for in this motion, suppression, a fine, other relief.
What?
This is outrageous. And
Hold on a second. This is news to me. So it sounds like Lindsay has injected herself, and she's like, she's like the pirate in Captain Phillips. Remember that movie? Where the ship got hijacked by pirates. Look at me. I am the prosecutor now, says Lindsay. Like, What?
We're going to ask in writing when there's a new prosecutor that
Yeah,
would be
why don't you
stricken.
do that? Why don't you?
Because we just
respond
had
to
it with
writing?
this. It's just,
Yeah.
it's going to prejudice our rights
Yeah.
to a fair trial on behalf of Mr. Carney. She can't keep taking pot shots with the court. Your Honor has to read this stuff. You know, it should be stricken. It shouldn't even be accepted, is our position.
All right, so I will then see you back, or someone will see you back on whatever date that is, that we
December
chose
5th.
for the hearing.
And one final thing, Your Honor, I'll put on the record that I told Mr. Bradel and Mr. Betterow that with respect to the most recent indictment against Mr. Kearney that involves him standing outside the pizza shop
Oh, yeah, 25
making faces,
Yeah.
that I would provide him with the discovery by the next court date.
Okay,
And that's agreed to, Judge. That's perfectly fine. I did file 2 arraignment motions that I would just ask the Commonwealth to look at in terms of what we're looking for in terms of the response.
okay, sounds good. Thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your matter is continued to December 5th at 2 p.m.
All right, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Quiet, please, objection. Quiet, please, objection. Thank you.
Thank you. If you don't have those,
Aiden looks pleased.
What are they?
So in the 25.
Aiden looks very pleased. Well, there you have it, folks. Cosgrove can no longer prosecute Aiden. The previous prosecutor also had to withdraw due to conflict. The entirety of the Norfolk County DA's office is now in conflict. Thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay continues to file these frivolous motions trying to pretend like she is the prosecutor, trying to help prosecute Aiden's case, looking for fines and this and that as a third-party prosecutor. I don't even understand. What is this? I have never seen anything like this in my entire life. It goes to show the state of mind, the inability to understand the legal process, the state of mind of Ms. Gaetani, and I can only say I feel sorry for this woman. There's clearly something wrong. She clearly needs help, and it's not through the courts, folks. So again, don't forget to like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel. I wish Aiden nothing but success in this case, because think about it. Lindsay has helped in the most spectacular fashion. She has helped Aiden by completely making the entirety of the office unable to prosecute him for these charges. So now they're going to have to go back and find another office to take this. And it's probably going to be filled with prosecutors who are going to be like, okay, we'll take it, but you're not going to like what we're going to do with it because we have no allegiance to the McAlberts like you do, Michael Morrissey. So anyway, this has been fun. What a fascinating turn of events. Lindsay, who has been doing everything she can to screw over Aiden, has helped him in the most colossal way. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, folks. I cannot wait. I cannot wait until December 5th. It sucks that we have to wait this long, but the Brian Walsh case is coming up. The Brian Walsh, I'm going to finish some of those videos as well, like I said, on my channel. We're going to finish Fraser Baum. That has been on my to-do list for a while, so I'll be in touch with Ari. Actually, we spoke a couple days ago about something different, but I'll talk to Ari about her schedule and her availability to get the transcripts. We'll finalize the transcripts on Fraser Baum because his case is going to start moving, and Alan Jackson is on that as well. Also, like I said, Brian Walsh's trial is set to begin in about 3.5 weeks here. So that's going to be huge. Tune in for that. Also, there's a couple more cases happening in Massachusetts. You know what I'm talking about. There's the Fitzsimmons and that other one. I just can't think of the name right now off the top of my head. But what I can tell you, folks, is we're going to try and cover as much of this stuff as possible, so stay tuned. I know I may have misspoke in my previous video. I said this is the last video I'm going to make about Adelson, the Donna Adelson. I meant on her trial. Okay, I probably should have clarified. This is the last video I'm going to make on the topic of her trial. If she files an appeal, we're going to cover it. If they go after Wendy, we're going to cover it, by God. If they go after Harvey, we're going to cover it, of course. There is a lot of fingers that point at Wendy and Harvey, and that saga is not over. 5 people are sitting in prison right now. Donna, Charlie, Katie, Tutu, and Tatu, whatever their names are. All of them are now in prison. And rightfully so. And 5 down, 2 to go. I guess we'll see how that goes. And folks, Anytime there's going to be a Karen Reed motion on her civil case or something of that nature, I'm going to do everything in my power to try and cover it. I like to make things entertaining, interesting, as you all know. And yeah, if you're not subscribed yet, what's wrong with you? You really want to miss this content? You really want to miss this stuff? Why? This is so good. So folks, with that, I will leave you. I love every single one of you, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.